Hi and welcome to workshop 4 of our spreadsheet training sessions. This session really is looking at formatting a spreadsheet and what formatting means. For your ICT exam, one of the questions relates to formatting a spreadsheet. The reason that we format a spreadsheet is so that when we present our information to either the general public or our boss or supervisor or our staff, it looks acceptable, it looks easy to read, the person that you're providing it for can read it, understand it and take on board what the information shows. So the first thing that I want to do to format my spreadsheet is I want to give it a nice big title. And I'm going to do that by selecting the cell with the words Airway Outdoor. I'm going to highlight that. Then I want to merge and centre that. I want to put this Airway Outdoor right into the centre of my table. So I've highlighted all the way across to cell G, and then I come up here and you'll see it says merge and centre. I click on that and it takes away all those other cells and it puts the title right here in the middle. The next thing I want to do is make that title a little bit different, a little bit bigger. I'm happy with it being in Calibri, but I certainly want to make that title bigger. I'm going to make it font 16 and make it bold. Okay, so that's nice and easy to read. Then what I want to do is also merge and centre Snowboard Sail. And again, I'm taking it from cell A2. I'm left clicking on my mouse, I'm highlighting right the way across here and letting go when I get to cell G2 and hit merge and centre again, and once again I want that slightly bigger, so I'm going to make that 14. I don't need it bold, I think that looks absolutely fine. The next thing I want to do is to highlight these top cells here, these titles for each of these columns. So I'm going to right click, hold and drag my highlighter across, and I think I shall make them slightly bigger. We'll go to 12 and we'll also make them bold, and you click on the B up there for bold. Now you'll see what's happened is my words have slightly disappeared on the edge. And in order to overcome that, if you move your cursor to the top of the edge of that column until you get this lovely looking double-sided arrow, then using the left button on your mouse, double click and it moves along that column width to accommodate the extra size of your words, which is great. Okay, so we're halfway there. We're looking quite good. If I were going to print this off and give it to my manager, it looks okay. But there's some critical things that are missing from here. And it's something that would assist my manager in being able to read the information. So for example, columns D and columns F and columns G are prices. And I think that they would be much better if they had a pound sign in front of them. So we're going to format those columns. And we do that by, you can either highlight the cells that you want to format, or the way that I'm going to do this is to just hold my cursor until I get this arrow over the column that I want to format. I'm going to left click and then it highlights the whole column. Then I right click on my mouse and I get this menu of options. I then select format cells. I select currency because that's what I want that column to be displayed as, currency. 2 decimal places is okay with me, but here it says, do you want a symbol? Yes, I do. I want a pound sign. Now, you could add a number of other types of symbols if you were working in euros or an Indian currency, but obviously we're using pounds, so we're going to select the English pound symbol. I click OK, and you'll now see that my prices have a pound symbol in front of them. I'm going to do the same for columns F and columns G. Format cells, currency, with a pound sign, OK, and finally columns G. Format cells, currency, with a pound sign and again to 2 decimal places and click OK. Alright, so our snowboard sail spreadsheet is not looking too bad. What I want to do is I want to change some of the ways that this information is displayed, and I want to centre it. So I'm just going to highlight those columns and I'm going to centre it. I think that looks much better, much easier to read, and in fact I think I might do price band as well and see what that looks like. Oh yes, definitely much easier to read. I'm quite impressed with that. Now then, what I also want to do is I want to give this some outlines, some borders, and the reason that I want to do that is so that when it's printed off, it's much easier to read across the lines and to relate the information to each part. So I'm going to highlight the whole of my table, and again I do that using the left button on my mouse, and I come up to the top here of my tools bar and I click on this little arrow here that's next to this little box with the squares in. And if I left click on there, I get all these options. So I can do part borders. I want to do all borders. And what it does for me is it gives all of these boxes a border. I'm going to then also give it some colour. I want the top part here to be light blue. And again, I'll just take you back through that. I'll undo that. I just click into the cell and I come up to my little paint pot here. It says fill colour. I left click over the little arrow here and I get all these colours I can choose from. I'm going to choose blue, and then I want to do snowboard sail, and again I'm going to click over that little arrow, and I think I want that a slightly lighter blue. Let's go to more colours, see what we get. There we are, a slightly lighter blue. What I now want to do is highlight the discount column. Okay, and that is purely so my colleagues and my staff, when I print this off, can see how much discount each snowboard has. So I'm going to highlight those into a nice light pink colour. There we are. And that's our formatting done. I think if we printed that off, our spreadsheet would look superb. And that completes today's workshop on formatting your spreadsheet. Do remember, your spreadsheets during your exams will differ, and so it's really important to make sure that if you're asked to highlight something, you highlight it and there's a reason for it. Formatting really is about giving somebody the best information in the best possible way. So good luck.